You are listening to The Vocal Technologist. Spoken tech for your ears.
I was trying to read an article the other day, and I realized my brain has just been completely rewired.
Oh, yeah. How so?
If the headline doesn't basically give me the full story, I find myself instinctively reaching for a chatbot to summarize it.
Huh, right. Our attention spans are gone.
It's not even that. It's like we've optimized for information velocity. We just want the answer now.
Well, speaking of velocity, we have a ton of new intelligence to get through today.
We really do. We've gathered everything we could find on the latest moves in AI. Here on The Vocal Technologist, our goal is to cut through all that and really show you where the money's going.
And where the tech is actually heading.
Exactly. What does it all mean for, your actual work?
Right. And there's a lot to cover. We're talking everything from billion-dollar corporate drama to these surprisingly small engineering tricks that are driving huge gains.
So, where should we start?
I think we have to break it down. Let's do the corporate arms race first. The money, the chips, then the global expansion, and finally we can get under the hood with the tech details that really matter.
Okay, let's start with the money. Because the numbers are just dizzying.
They really are.
It shows this incredible confidence in a market that's still, figuring itself out. Take Mistral AI in France.
Right, they're finalizing, what, a 2 billion euro investment?
Yeah, and that would push their valuation to a staggering $14 billion.
14 billion. That's a really loud signal from Europe that they believe in their own horse in this race.
It is. And
Yeah.
when you look stateside at Anthropic, and the scale is even more dramatic.
Oh, completely. They raised 13 billion at a valuation of, what was it?
183 billion.
183. But what's fascinating to me isn't just the valuation, it's the revenue. It's real.
That's the key part, isn't it? Their annual recurring revenue shot up to $5 billion.
And if you dig in, their coding tool, Claude Code, is pulling in 500 million of that all by itself.
So it's not just promise, it's actual product market fit.
Exactly. They found a real paying customer base.
And when you have that kind of money coming in, you start spending it strategically, like OpenAI buying Statsic.
For $1.1 billion, yeah.
So why spend over $1 billion on what's basically an A/B testing platform? It seems steep.
It does. But that capability is suddenly an existential need.
How so?
Well, if you can't test product changes super fast, which features work, which prompts are better, you just fall behind.
So it's not about iteration, it's about...
It's about velocity. They're buying speed. It's the only way to keep up with Google and Anthropic, who are moving just as fast.
Okay, that makes sense. And the spending isn't just on software, right? The chip wars are heating up.
Oh, absolutely. And it's moving beyond just buying up all of NVIDIA's hardware.
We're seeing companies like Alibaba developing their own AI inference chip domestically.
And that's not just about saving a few bucks. That is a direct political and economic defense.
You mean the pressure from Beijing?
Exactly. China has to build its own chip industry to avoid being dependent on foreign tech that could get cut off at any moment.
So custom silicon is like the ultimate moat.
It is. It's a defense against geopolitics. And you see OpenAI doing something similar.
Right, they're partnering with Broadcom.
To make their own custom AI chip, due in 2026. This is the trend. The giants want to own the entire stack, from the silicon all the way up to the app.
That's the real long-term advantage.
Total control.
But even with all that money and control, things seem shaky inside some of these places. Look at XAI.
Yeah, that's a lot of
A
turmoil.
whole wave of top people leaving. The CFO, the top lawyers.
And Igor Babushkin, their veteran researcher, that's a huge loss. He left to start his own AI safety VC firm.
When you have finance, legal, and top research talent all leaving at once.
Yeah. That's not normal churn. That signals something is really unstable internally. Those are foundational pillars of a company.
It makes you wonder, is it just about money, or is there a real ideological split happening?
You have to ask, right? Especially with Babushkin's move into AI safety. Are the top minds getting worried about the direction things are headed?
It's a valid question. Meanwhile, you have other giants just trying to keep up.
Like Meta.
Yeah, while they're working on Llama 5, they're thinking about plugging in models from Google and OpenAI just to bridge the gap.
Which is a really pragmatic move, honestly. It shows just how hard it is to stay at the absolute bleeding edge, even for a company with Meta's resources.
And they're struggling to hold on to talent. They hire these big names, like Zhao, who co-created ChatGPT.
And then they leave almost immediately. Or threaten to. It's one thing to attract them, but keeping them when they could go start their own billion-dollar company is
Yeah.
almost impossible. So that's the internal drama. But if we shift focus to the global stage, the whole game changes.
Right. This is about positioning and infrastructure.
And emerging economies are the new battleground, India especially.
OpenAI's plans there are huge. They're talking about a new data center with at least 1 gigawatt of capacity.
A whole gigawatt. That's not a satellite office. That's planting a flag for the next few decades.
And they're opening an office in New Delhi, working with the government on that huge India AI mission.
And it's not just OpenAI. Reliance in India got $100 million from Meta.
And cloud support from Google.
Right. So everyone sees India as this critical market for infrastructure dominance.
The competition is global on the product side, too.
Oh, for sure. China's DeepSeek is getting ready to launch its own AI agent software.
Specifically to compete with the agent tools coming out of the US.
Yep. So the race for autonomous agents is officially a global fight now.
You know, speaking of global positioning, I found this amazing little detail in the material.
Oh, yeah.
The tiny Caribbean island of Anguilla. They got the .i domain name back in the 80s.
By accident, right. Just a bureaucratic fluke.
Total accident. And now they're making $39 million a year from domain registrations.
No way. $39 million.
Yeah. It's almost a quarter of their entire government's revenue.
That's incredible. So virtual real estate is literally funding a small country.
Literally keeping it afloat.
That's amazing. But, you know, while some of this money is passive, other money is being used to actively shape the future.
You're talking about Meta's super PAC in California.
Exactly. They're backing pro-AI candidates. It's a clear attempt to influence regulation before any restrictive laws can get passed.
Okay, so let's shift gears. We've talked about the money and the politics. Let's get into the engineering room.
Right. Where does all that money actually go?
Because it's not just about buying bigger and bigger servers. To justify these $14 billion valuations, they have to be getting hyper-efficient.
They do, and that demand is having these weird second-order effects on older software. Take MongoDB Atlas.
The database.
Yeah. Their AI vendor revenue is doubling. They added over 5,000 new customers in just 2 quarters.
But why Mongo? It's been around forever. Why are AI companies suddenly flocking to it?
It's all about their vector search capabilities.
Okay, break that down for me.
So most old databases search for keywords, right? Exact matches. Vector search lets an AI search for meaning, for context.
Ah, so it's searching for concepts, not just words.
Precisely. And since Mongo built that capability to scale really well, AI companies are adopting it like crazy. They need that efficient, meaning-based retrieval for their models to work.
So AI demand is literally reshaping the database market around this one feature.
It is. And that drive for efficiency goes all the way down to the hardware. We're seeing these technical breakthroughs like something called 8-bit rotational quantization.
That sounds complicated.
It is, but think of it like a really, really smart zip file for data.
Okay.
It can shrink the size of the data by a factor of 4, so you only need a quarter of the memory.
And that usually means you lose accuracy, right?
That's the magic part. With this technique, it actually improves the speed and the accuracy of the search.
Wow, so it's smaller, faster, and better.
Exactly. These are the little gains that make massive AI deployments actually affordable.
What's even crazier to me is the idea that the AI is starting to write its own code for the hardware.
The GPU kernels for Apple devices, yeah.
Explain what a GPU kernel is.
It's basically the lowest level machine code. It's the raw instructions that tell the chip exactly what to do for a really heavy math problem.
And the AI can write those instructions better than a human.
In many cases, yes. They found it led to speedups of almost 2 times faster in PyTorch. The AI is literally learning how to tune its own engine for maximum performance.
Which feeds right into that whole bitter lesson debate about scaling.
It does. The lesson being you can't just throw more computers at the problem, you have to scale the data too.
Right. The analysis we saw showed that if you double your GPUs, you need 40% more high-quality data to make it worthwhile.
Otherwise, the computers are just spinning their wheels on junk data. The real bottleneck is becoming data logistics, not compute.
And that data problem shows up in the user experience too, especially with agents.
Absolutely. We know that users will try an agent, but the second it fails or gets confused.
They abandon it. They lose trust.
Right. So the challenge isn't just building the most powerful agent, it's designing one that delivers a magical experience reliably. It's a product design problem now, not just a scaling problem.
All right.
And that brings us to the human side of all this, the impact on jobs.
Which is complicated.
Yeah.
The data suggests a lot of the big, scary studies are kind of overstated.
Or at least based on cherry-picked data. What we're actually seeing is this really weird paradoxical trend in hiring.
Okay, what is it?
Companies are avoiding hiring 22-year-olds for jobs like software development and customer service.
Right.
But they're rushing to hire middle-aged workers for the exact same jobs.
Wait, what? That makes no sense. If AI is automating tasks, why would they want more experienced, more expensive workers?
Because the AI is automating the simple, routine stuff, the work you'd normally give to a junior hire.
I see.
For the complex, ambiguous problems where AI is more of an assistant, tough customer issues, software architecture companies are valuing the human experience. They need people who can manage context.
So wages aren't going down, the skill requirements are just getting higher.
Exactly. The required skill set is getting more nuanced.
And the consensus seems to be that by 2025, AI fluency is going to be a non-negotiable skill.
For sure. It'll be part of performance reviews, part of the hiring process. You see companies like Palantir getting ahead of it with their working intelligence campaign.
Framing it as a tool for workers, not a replacement for them.
Right. But that focus on skills has to come with transparency if you want to build trust.
Which Mistral seems to be doing with that memories feature in the chat.
I like that. It gives you a visible log of what the AI remembers, where it got it from, and you can edit it.
That level of user control is so important.
It is. And then you contrast that with Anthropic's new policy.
Right. They're going to start training on user chats and code by default.
Unless you actively go in and opt out by the end of September, the burden is now on you, the user, to protect your own data.
That's a huge shift.
It is. And finally, we have to talk about security.
As these agents get more powerful,
the risks get bigger. Researchers built this thing called Agent Hopper. It's a prompt injection payload.
So this isn't just tricking a chatbot into saying something dumb.
No, this is much more sophisticated. It's a malicious payload that only activates when the agent is doing something specific and high value.
Like what?
Like accessing a company's internal database or making a specific API call. It shows that we need a whole new class of security protocols built just for these agent-based systems. AL-driven malware is coming. Hashtag tag outro.
So if we pull all of this together,
yeah,
it's just, it's a lot. The speed of the money with billions flowing into Mistral and Anthropic.
It's matched only by the speed of the technical progress happening behind the scenes.
Yeah, these little refinements like vector search becoming essential or the AI writing its own GPU code.
And I think what this all means for you is that the future here isn't just about who has the biggest model.
Or the most funding.
Right. It's going to be about who can actually execute on these hyper-efficient engineering tricks, and I think most importantly, who can earn and keep user trust.
Through reliability and transparency. That feels right.
It's the whole game.
Absolutely. We see these companies spending huge amounts to expand into foreign markets like India, and at the same time pouring money into political influence here in the U.S. with super PACs.
They're covering all their bases.
They are. So here's a final thought for you to chew on. Given all that, how might a push for open global investment change things?
What do you mean by that?
I mean, what if foreign citizens were actively encouraged to buy actual voting stock in these big AGI corporations? How would that change the competitive landscape or even the trajectory of how these systems get developed? Something to think about.
Spoken Tech, for your ears.